but I'll let you guys decide if that's true on your own.
I saw a gentleman in uniform with a sign that said Army Veteran Homeless Needs Help. I realized pretty quickly that this was probably stolen valor.
He got out of his car to go face to face with the panhandler, and he does as he's told, but Goodwin doesn't let up.
That's my uniform! My brother died in that uniform! You don't understand that, do you?
I don't have a uniform.
I think he's bullying people at this intersection when he walks up to the window in full military uniform, and he's bullying their heartstrings and bullying their sympathies.
Number 4. So not everyone pretends to be a soldier because they're desperate. In fact, this guy basically just did it to boost his business. Not just that, but faking being a veteran wasn't enough for him, so he pretended to be the most decorated Navy SEAL in history. You may be asking why. Well, he ran a self-defense training camp, and he thought that seeming so impressive would be a guaranteed way to bring in customers. And it worked too, since almost everyone believed him as soon as they saw him. And those who needed proof were shown tons of faked emails, discharge papers.
I banged out 9 surgeries in about 7.5 years. All of them orthopedic, 6 of them hardware. I banged out 9 surgeries in about 7.5 years.
But I don't have a Purple Heart.
Orthopedic.
I banged out 9 surgeries in so many years. But I don't have a Purple Heart. I lied to my family. I broke into homes. I done horrible things. But I don't have a Purple Heart. I have stolen valor. But I don't have a Purple Heart.
All of them orthopedic.
But I've lied to everybody on the internet and YouTube. But I don't have a Purple Heart.
I banged out 9
surgeries in less than 7 years.
I know it sounds unbelievable, but he genuinely got away with it for a good amount of time. But it gets even worse. After a while, he got bored with just self-defense, so he used a new identity to trick some students into investing into his new quote-unquote genius idea, a security firm overseas.
6 of them
Obviously, it was a total scam, but I mean, damn, you should have seen the real Navy SEAL because he was not happy to hear about the imposter.
I've been a veteran. I've been doing it. I was doing it for 17 to 32 years old.
Self-defense school. That's Nick running and gunning in videos to promote his business.
It looked like
I still
Learning from a Navy SEAL was part of the fun, but Dickie wasn't just any old SEAL. He claimed tours of duty in Vietnam, NATO, Desert Storm, you name it, he's been there, earning him the status as the most decorated Navy SEAL in history.
I still don't know what the
If anyone
proper
asks for proof,
response
he had his
is.
discharge papers at the ready. He says A.J. Dickin was no ordinary SEAL faker. For one thing, his claims were so over the top. Remember those discharge papers?
The awards in here are outrageous.
Why are they outrageous?
Oh, he says he's got 2 medals of honor. That hasn't happened since World War I.
In fact, Dickin never served a day in the military, and his phony resume was missing a few details. Like the burglary conviction that landed him in a California prison. For the team back in Burundi, the last bit of Dickin's cover is blown to bits. But knowing he's a fraud is cold comfort.
I'm not guilty of murder.
You're sitting in the middle of Africa with somebody that you're pretty convinced at this point is a sociopath at best, a psychopath at worst.
The team hightails it back to Nevada, and Carol Roberts wastes no time blowing the whistle about the real A.J. Dickin.
I went to one of the doctors with all of the evidence I had and said, you have a problem.
Number
2
3.
gunshot wounds, and I still have frag.
Now maybe the worst thing about this video is the guy knows he's been found out, but he just refuses to give it up.
all of that.
Like he's posing as a U.S. Marine in full uniform, and he doesn't exactly blend in, so it's weird that he seems so surprised by all the questions.
I never had a problem.
Anyway, he has a whole story about where he was deployed and who he worked with, and even has an excuse for why he has no ID card. But the more he talks, the more obvious it was that he was faking.
9 surgeries.
By the time he gives up his fake presidential cross, the game is definitely up, and every mistake he makes in front of the actual vets confirms it. I mean, he gets called out for wearing medals and ribbons at the same time, as well as for wearing sunglasses, until they finally flat out accuse him of being fake. The amazing thing is, he still denies it, and even tells them they need to back up because he's like some kind of military police officer too.
Okay.
The whole thing is kind of ridiculous, but I'm kind of impressed that he refused to give up the act. I mean, he was dead in the water the entire time.
To the best
You're not even wearing the proper infantry uniform.
That's a good question.
You're wearing
That's
not the proper infantry uniform.
I did have sex with a woman.
What's the army uniform regulation?
Yes.
What is it?
And you're going to stick by the fact that you didn't
No,
ask
what
for
is the
donations
regulation?
on
What is
that
the
live
actual
stream? Because I
regulation?
have
What's the
that
code?
To the best of my knowledge, I didn't.
That's a uniform regulation.
To the best of my knowledge, I don't know. I
You know
have
that's
sex
called
with a
false
woman.
dollar? It is a
Do you
federal
have a
fine
daughter?
for you to be wearing that uniform. No, it's not.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Which you can
And
tell.
you're going to stick by the fact that you didn't ask for donations on that live stream? Because I have
Yeah, where's your MP badge?
To the best of my knowledge, I didn't.
no, that
I was employed.
It's okay. We understand. We already established that. Where's your cat card? Do you know what? National Guard officer here.
Wasn't combat related. It wasn't active in engagement with an enemy of this country. Yes, I was employed. I was employed. It wasn't combat related. It wasn't active engagement.
So pretending to have served in the military is bad no matter where you choose to do it. But making up a story about being a Marine is extra weird when you're currently behind the counter at a GameStop. Like, I have no clue what made this guy think this is a good idea, but when a real Marine came in to buy something, the staff member insisted he was a real Marine too.
I do want
Like he said, his uniform was at home, and that he still went on the base to get his haircut for free, which is a really specific lie, as well as a strange one.
give it to you for nothing.
Anyway, the real Marines played along until they had enough evidence to prove he was lying, and then went through and corrected every lie he told. It's pretty brutal, and the guy isn't happy about it at all, since he goes from calm to super angry in less than a second.
Right now,
I'm not joking, he ends up swearing at the dudes and telling them to leave, but he doesn't even bother denying that he's lying. Even worse, all this happens in front of a bunch of customers off camera, who I bet had absolutely no idea what was happening.
Right now, am I guilty of them? Yes. Within the last
Which uniform?
10 years.
You know, like I said, I don't do it for recognition. I don't want recognition. I mean,
When's the last time I put a
I've been doing it. I was doing it for 17 to 32 years.
Yeah, I had to. They gave me my new patch when all I did was I put it on with the pin needle because I never.
I still don't know what the correct response is when people like you gentlemen
Just don't go on the plane.
Miss Kim Crawford.
You know there's a law against this, right? It's called false valor.
I still don't know what the proper response is when
We'll leave, man, but it's false valor,
thank you for
man.
your service.
I wouldn't say you're a Marine if you weren't a Marine. You're talking about two guys who've given so much for this country, you know that, right? People die, man, they get the fucking title Marine, man.
Number 1. So I've got no idea why anyone would choose to fake being a veteran in the middle of a random mall. But that's exactly what this guy decided to do, and he probably would have gotten away with it if another soldier hadn't taken a closer look. I mean, maybe the guy just wanted to look cool or impress somebody, but that's still super messed up, since, like, I don't know, you didn't serve?
9 surgeries.
Anyways, at first the other vet wasn't even suspicious. He just wanted to see where the guy had served, and maybe talk to him about the stories he had.
And
the thing is, his uniform up close had about a dozen mistakes, like his flag was too low, his shoelaces were wrong, and the number of stars he had was impossible for someone so young. So yeah, as soon as the vet knew what was going on, he started shouting stolen valor and letting everyone know that the guy was a fake. Like, even when he talked about losing friends who wore that uniform, the faker refused to give up the act. But his face made it clear he wasn't about to try a stunt like that again anytime soon.
Service connected.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Hey, one fake hero learns the hard way. If you go to impersonate a U.S. Army Ranger, better make sure there's not a soldier nearby.
I still have frag in my lower back.
You're in second bat, Rangers? There it is. Where's your combat patch at?
Gave it to a little kid again. Alright, why's your flag so low on your shoulder? It should be up here.
Look on the screen.
Got me on that one, bud. Why don't you just admit you're a phony? You know it's illegal, right? What you're doing right now? Let me tell you something. If I was a phony, then I wouldn't be wearing a shirt. You wouldn't? No. Because you are a phony. I just called you out about 10 different things. This is illegal. What you're doing right now is illegal. Because you know what? I've worn that uniform, and I've had friends get killed in Afghanistan wearing that uniform. Stolen valor. Right here. Stolen valor! Wow, Sergeant Ryan Burke, the U.S. Army veteran that confronted that phony hero, is with us right now. Ryan, thanks so much for your service. Thank you, appreciate it. Set the scene for us. Looks like you're in a mall. You spot something, and what did you do? I spotted this guy in an Army combat uniform. He went into a store. I went in for a closer look because I like talking to fellow service members, see what unit they were in. And as I got closer, I noticed a couple things were off with his uniform. His flag was low, his bootlaces were untucked, the badges on his chest were kind of off-centered. So I took a step back and I just watched him talk to a little boy and kind of tell him his stories about, you know, being in the military and this and that.
I was deployed.
And there's a video on the top 5 fake soldiers that got exposed. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to see whenever I upload a video.
I was deployed. It wasn't combat related.
Wrong it was to treat people like that.
It wasn't active
Like he was so angry
with an enemy of this country. But yes, I was.
Let up. That's my uniform.
I was deployed. It wasn't combat related. It wasn't active It wasn't active engagement with an enemy of this country. But yes, I was deployed when it happened. I was deployed. It wasn't combat related. It wasn't active It wasn't active engagement with an enemy of this country. But yes, I was deployed when it happened. I was deployed. It wasn't combat related. It wasn't active It wasn't active engagement.
Do you have a daughter?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And you're going to stick by the fact that you didn't ask for donations on that live stream because I have that live stream. Were you shot? Yeah, I was shot. Okay. Were you shot in combat? Were you in the war? What war were you in? Were you in service? Did you see action?